real quick, I just want to go over some details that people seem to miss and roll over. People are saying that, like, especially John Campia, he doesn't think that Quicksilver is Quicksilver. Then the pop figure comes out, and it has quotation marks over Pietro Maximoff. Because his name isn't Pietro. His name is Peter. My phone's about to die. Hold on, let me charge it. Alright. So Peter, Maximoff, look it up. But, so it is an imposter Quicksilver. It is a fake Quicksilver. It's the, because it's not the Quicksilver. As far as Vision and Scarlet Witch are concerned, that is a fake Pietro. Pietro is Pietro is dead. So, and yes, I had to say his name 3 different ways just to piss somebody off. The other thing is cataracts. A new theory by comic book cast... Oh, fuck. I skipped over evidence. You don't do that in the courtroom. Bad Ace Attorney. So the Quicksilver thing. In the last episode, episode 7, you get a little musical number that says Agatha Harkness was behind it all along. Now, we see flashbacks to her doing her little magic thingy with her hands. I did it IRL, but you guys can't see it because this is audio only. So, sorry. But she does this magic thing. And Pietro, quotation marks, has he has the aura coming off of him. So, Wanda brought him here to begin with, and Pietro, Agatha Harkness is controlling him. And the reason their memories don't line up is because he has Pietro's memory. So Quicksilver has Pietro's memories and Peter's memories. He's 2 Quicksilvers in 1. So that explains everything weird. And him being a dick, he's working through Agatha is working through him. She's doing something to him because of the aura. He had pink aura. I don't think that's a new person. I don't think that's an imposter. I don't think that's Agatha's son. I don't think that's Mephisto. And it sure as hell isn't Agatha. I think as simple as that, she does her little magic thing and Peter does whatever she wants him to do. I don't really know how this plan unfolds, really. I'm going to look into other people's theories and see what I can come up with. But that, I'm dead set on the fact that this is the Fox Quicksilver. And honestly, I hope I'm not wrong, because that's kind of what I want. I want to see the X-Men and MCU universes collide. And hey, if we get some time travel shenanigans, and we get, like, the Age of Ultron era Avengers just coming into the timeline, like Legends of Tomorrow style. You know, they wanted Captain Cold to be a villain in Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow. They killed him off in Season 1. So what do? They go get the evil one from The Flash Season 2. So do that. Get the MCU Age of Ultron guys, so you can have that crossover in Doctor Strange 2 or something like that. You gotta get all the actors back, you gotta get a contract, and you gotta entice them with a lot more money, but worth it. You get the Avengers Prime versus X-Men Prime, hopefully. Get Hugh Jackman. Sorry, I'm doing Wolverine poses and claw swipes in a very quiet version of the signature scream, Wolverine's signature battle cry.
You have proven far more
Now the thing about Cataracts, Project Cataracts or whatever. Comic Book Cast 2's theory.
the time has come to face
Armin
your final judgment.
is that it's bringing back people from the dead. Basically, you know, when you die, your eyes glaze over. Looks like cataracts, as we saw with Vision, who had his head like caved in and pulled out, and then with Pietro quotation marks, how he had he had bullet holes in him. Both of them had white eyes, you know, like dead people eyes or blind people eyes. You guys seen that scene from Gotham where we first see Jeremiah Valeska? He's with the old dude, and or Jerome Valeska, I guess. He's with the old dude, and the old dude's got like the cataracts. You know what? Fuck it. Just look up cataracts. You'll see what I mean. But that scene, that's what it showed, you know. So now, yeah, fine, I guess. We saw cataracts. We saw them with cataracts or whatever. Yeah, fine. That could be it, I will admit. But why is Sword doing that? Why would Sword be the ones doing that? I think, more accurately, cataracts is like Vision's kryptonite. Because if you look at the definition of cataracts, let me look it up real quick. Cataracts. I fucked up the spelling, apparently. Definition. The fucking very definition. A medical condition in which the lens of the eye becomes progressively opaque, resulting in... Damn it, watch. Where's your snooze button? There we go. A medical condition in which the lens of the eye becomes progressively opaque, resulting in blurred vision. Clouding vision. Clouding vision, that's the other thing. Either way, that's basically the same thing, right? So what that sounds like to me is like a fancy Batman thing. Like, so cataracts, it blinds you, basically, in a sort of a way. And Batman has, like if Batman found a way to take away the Flash's speed, you know for a fact he would label that, like Project Turtle or Project, Slowpoke or something like that. So Project Cataracts... Yeah, that's the opposite of Vision. So it's Vision's kryptonite. So I don't know what it is. But I mean, I'd probably fucking slap someone if it was a shiny green rock that killed Vision. That would be fucking funny. But yeah, so it's anti-Vision, I think. Just like how the turtle is anti-Flash in Flash Season 2. A lot of Season 2 references. If you remember, he's the guy that Harry killed. When Cisco was like, Harry, what the fuck? I seen you on the cameras. And Harry's just like, wasn't me. Don't know what you're talking about. Cisco's like, cameras. And Harry's just like, yeah, Cisco's kind of sus. That never works for me, by the way. Dude, someone just fucking keeps telling me blue is sus. And I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up. That is extremely sus. And, you know, I actually have evidence. And he was like, exchange tag kind of sus. And then they vote me out. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Kevin? There's a movie coming out called Kevin Go Fuck Yourself, which... What did Kevin do? I would like to know what Kevin did. Anyways, Antivision. There you go. These are some details that people have missed out for some reason. John Campea ignored the Pietro thing, and everyone seems to be wildly misinterpreting cataracts. Everyone from Armin to John Campea to... The only people who mentioned it and just didn't understand it at all seemed to be Mr. Sunday Movies. Great YouTuber, but he mentioned it, and both him and his friend just kind of just glossed over it and just didn't acknowledge it. I'm like, no sir, I think that's kind of important. Realistically, they probably just forgot, but, like, yeah, like, come on, man.
The rift is sealed. We're safe now.
Alas, if only I can be so certain.
Alright, that's my little outro jiggy. My outro jig. My outro jig. I have nothing else really to say, it's just those details. I'm excited to know where this goes. Rumor has it, the book in the basement, by the way, that basement sequence just reminds me of the basement area in the, Baker family house, from Resident Evil 7. As soon as Wanda went in there, I'm like, ooh, I hope there are mold monsters in the next episode. And also, seriously, yes I do. I want to see mold monsters. And then I want to see, like, Jack Baker just punch Wanda in the face and say, welcome to the family, son. And then, just like, boom. The post-credit scene, a Marvel vs. Capcom movie. That's how I want that to end. I'm not even fucking kidding. I shit you not. If it doesn't... Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you guys. That is how I want it to end, but I know it's not going to. Fuck you, Dragon Ball FighterZ, taking too long to start. What does that even mean? Like, bitch, excuse me? Anyways, that's how I want it to end. I'm not gonna be disappointed because I know it would never fucking happen. But at the very least, show me some of the mold monsters. I want to see some of the mold monsters, dude. Like, sorry, that area looked exactly like the basement. Just the hallways were slightly tighter and the, slightly smaller. Like, there were no hallways, it was just, like, one area. But you could kind of see two of the different rooms merged into one. From Resident Evil. It looked, the bottom line, the basement was fucking cool. Oh, and there's a post-credit scene in episode 7, so I'm not gonna spoil that here. There's no reason for me to mention anything from it. But I actually just skipped it, assuming that there wouldn't be a post-credit scene. And then there fucking was. So, as it turns out, I'm thinking the last 2 episodes are also going to have post-credit scenes, because it would be weird to place them in that order. That's really the only reason. So, I expect we'll see a lot more. A few more post-credit scenes, they'll become less cryptic, because this one was just weird. But yes, episode 7 has a post-credit scene, so if you're watching this, and you were like me, and you skipped it, this one's weird and kind of unimportant, but I'd watch it anyways. I booted Disney Plus back up just to watch that post-credit scene, so please go and do that. And by the way, I don't think that lady, that military lady, was the aerospace engineer. I don't think that was her. I think she's the leader of whatever. I think because there's another engineer that builds them a tank. In the trailer, you see a tank going in. We haven't seen that happen yet. Whatever it was that Monica tried driving into the wall didn't actually do anything. So I don't think that was the engineer. I think the engineer is somewhere else. Maybe that was a engineer, but that was just, she looked like a soldier, not an engineer. Yeah. And by the way, people are disappointed because we didn't get that cameo that was promised. No one ever said the cameo was going to be the engineer. For all you know, Forge or Mr. Fantastic or whoever you were hoping for could still show up. No one ever said it was going to be the engineer. So, yeah, I don't know why you guys got disappointed by that. Moral of the story: go watch the post-credit scene. Yeah, it exists. Episode 7. So yeah, that's really everything. My phone is lagging the fuck out. I think I'm gonna have to my phone crashed for a second, or froze for a second. See, I'm gonna end it here. My phone's acting weird, and I don't really have any reason to continue going later.
A map of Hammerhead's businesses? Gotta get a better look at it.
Between the distillery and the auto shop, Hammerhead's printing money for years. Literally.
There. When I'm done here, I'm calling MJ. She's gonna want to know about those spots for her piece on crime fronts. Okay, onward. Need to find Vinny and Gino. Figure out where the Majadons are.
So here's my issue. Okay. I drink the beer here, even though it's awful. The worst. I gotta take a leak, right? All the time. What do you think? Hey, you heard about this Project Olympus business? I heard. I don't like it. Could be interesting. Could be. It gets you dead.
Project Olympus? Why does that keep coming up here? Vinny and Gino, I presume. These guys know Hammerhead's AM radio. Vintage. Damn it! That got one of them. Now for the other.
So I have an unfortunate video I'm probably gonna make at some point. I hope I don't. But let's avoid that here. WandaVision comes out tonight, and I don't know if this video is going to be able to go up when it's supposed to. Probably not. But basically, in WandaVision, we have so many questions that have not been answered yet, and I don't know that they're all going to be answered in the finale, but there are some that probably should, and some that definitely will, and I don't know which are which. And I don't know which are the first one not happening. But here's some questions that I'm kind of confused about. What purpose do the children serve? We hear the whole time we hear a lot in in episode 2 where everyone is chanting for the children. The fuck does that mean? Alright, I'm not sure about the audio quality in here. But this is quieter. So we hear them chanting for the children. What the fuck does that mean? Obviously, I think it alludes to the children. Speed and Wiccan, Billy and Tommy. But why, what purpose do they serve? Why is it for the children? What role do the children play in Agnes's plan, if it's part of her plan? Everyone seems to gloss over that. Everyone's like, oh no, the children are in trouble. Why did the children exist, and why are they now in trouble? I'm very confused. Obviously, we need to find out what the deal with Hayward is. I'm convinced he's a supervillain, but that's a very divisive topic. Audio quality should be better now. But what's the purpose of Billy and Tommy? What significance does Dottie play? She was being so weird. No one's talking about Dottie, but in WandaVision, Dottie, Agnes does not like her, and that is made painfully clear a lot. So why does Agnes not like her, or Agatha Harkness, as it is? Why would Agnes have such a problem with Dottie? She says that her roses bloom under a penalty of death. No idea what the fuck that means. Going back in the closet. But what are they talking about when they say her roses bloom under the penalty of death? That's so weird. Dottie's acting so strange. Agnes doesn't like Dottie. What is the significance of that? It feels pretty significant. I glossed over it the first time I watched it, but what the fuck? Secondly, I'm rewatching all of the WandaVision episodes. Right now I'm on episode 2, in preparation for the new one coming out. But, so I'll get back to you guys later, of course. But what role, what is up with this? What role does any of this play in the grand scheme of things? Who the fuck is Agnes? Or not who the fuck. What the fuck is Agnes's plan? How did the children play into that, and why doesn't she like Dottie? Right? The next big thing that I can think of off the top of my head, this is why I'm rewatching the show in its entirety, but what is the significance of white vision? What's the deal with that? Is it an evil vision? Is it just a vision drone with no personality? Is it is it Ultron? Some people think it's Ultron. Why is it white? Is this really the secret cameo they were talking about? I don't think so. I always thought the idea was funny that, it's possible that the actor Paul Bettany always wanted to work with was Paul Bettany, and now he's saying it is. I don't think... I think that's the one he was talking about, but I don't think that's the only one. I don't think that's it. I still think Charles Xavier and Magneto are going to show up. Hopefully some other X-Men too. But I don't think... Yeah. Why did Scarlet Witch survive her encounter with the Mind Stone? Never explained. I believe it's hinted at. I can't remember in what way. But she sees the Scarlet Witch and she becomes superhuman. Obviously, one of the books they've released claims that it's because of her her X gene, and it awakened her superpowers. Okay, my video's done. BRB.
So in your professional opinion, what is one shady-looking weapons deal?
Sorry about that Sable thing.
But a bunch of weird oddities. And, where was I? Why was Quicksilver able to survive? It is kind of weird. Usually, so they're pointing to magic. I think that I think. Well, firstly, I think that Wanda is misremembering some things because that scene, the flashback scene where they're all watching sitcoms before shit goes wild. She, in the box, you can see Malcolm in the Middle, which that scene is supposed to be in the 90s. Malcolm in the Middle came out in like 2003. So it's kind of whack. Then, in the comics, Pietro's hair has always been white, but in this show, the prequel scene, it's brown. Now, granted, Aaron Taylor Johnson's hair was... You can still see brown in it in Age of Ultron. I'm looking up Quicksilver right now just to make sure. MCU Quicksilver. But, yeah. Yeah, you can still see brown very clearly. So, it's a little weird. That, you know, because his hair has always been... It wasn't like his mutation activated and then his hair color changed. So, that's weird. Some people, mostly my dad probably, seem to think that in this universe, Scarlet Witch is not a mutant. But I'm pretty sure that'll be confirmed in the final episode. And, Agatha thinks that the reason she survived is because, Agatha thinks the reason she survived is because of her witchcraft. That doesn't check with me, so I'm gonna say no. But it would, you know, it would be due to the mutations. But why would Quicksilver, you know, survive if, you know, the mutations? So, Quicksilver's not a sorcerer. But I saw someone write in on the John Campea show that people are attributing this to Wanda being a sorcerer. And so some people are saying, or a witch, and some people are saying that Quicksilver survived because he's a sorcerer. I think not. The other thing is Scarlet Witch is capable of spontaneous creation, as it was said. Why would why can't Vision leave the Hex? I assume the reason Vision and the kids were not allowed to leave the Hex is because they would die if they did. But quite simply, it doesn't seem like they would. It seems like, well, Vision might, and I don't know what the deal with that is. But I think the kids should be able to leave the Hex, so I don't know why Wanda won't let them. I know she said something about the unfeeling world, but it's kind of weird. And then, I just don't understand, quite simply, a lot about this show. It doesn't make any sense. It's like the plan could make sense, but a lot of things have to go right. Which, as it turns out, is very easy to happen. But I guess this goes back to what purpose do the kids serve? And did Wanda really create them? I'm willing to bet she did. It checks. Especially the way they were named, with Wanda and Vision arguing over Billy or Tommy. And then suddenly Billy and Tommy, one comes out and then suddenly, boom, it's twins, right? That's kind of whack. But Wanda misremembering what happened with that trauma, Quicksilver says that she represses a lot of trauma, which checks. I almost wonder if Magneto came in and stopped the bomb from blowing up, and it wasn't Wanda. Wanda's like, oh, it was defective, but we didn't know that. And she uses a probability hex, which is basically like Schrodinger's cat. You put a cat in a box, you put in toxic gas. Now, while the box is closed and you can't see through it, the cat is both dead and alive at the same time. You open up the box, and then you see the result. There's a 50-50% chance that the cat is dead, or the cat is not. So she puts a probability hex on the bomb, and there's a 50-50% chance that it is defective or not. But the other thing could just be Magneto. It doesn't make any sense that she can do all of this magic stuff without even thinking about it. Unless the Scarlet Witches themselves are mutants. I want to see Aaron Taylor Johnson's Quicksilver show up in one of those flashback scenes, and how Wanda saw the Scarlet Witch in the Mind Stone. Maybe Pietro saw Quicksilver in the Mind Stone. And then Pietro, as they're calling him, fake Pietro. What's the deal with him? Who was he? Why does he look like the X-Men Quicksilver? And is he really fake? She said possession, not creation. She could just be controlling the Fox Quicksilver, which is what I thought from the beginning. However, her explanation doesn't explain anything. So, it implies that she's controlling someone pretending to be Quicksilver, but that's it. So what's the deal with Quicksilver? That's all, guys. I probably will edit this audio a little bit if I find something else to mention later. So here's something. Agatha says that her husband Ralph is an audience volunteer. Something along those lines. That means he was in the audience. So it has to be the rabbit. That's the only thing I can think. It's the rabbit. So here's another thing. I'm in a different location yet again. But, what are the significance of the hexagons? That hasn't been answered yet. I don't even think that shit's been touched. So, there's that. When we see Tony creating Ultron, his shit looks a lot like a hexagon. When we see Vision up close, his clothing, I guess, occasionally looks like it has a hexagon pattern in it. Wanda's bed in the episode after the Halloween one looks like Vision's clothing as well. So what's the deal with that shit? And what do all of the advertisements lead up to? We have one featuring Stark Tech, one featuring Strucker, one featuring Yo Magic, which seems to be referencing Mephisto or Agatha. I can't remember what all of them are off the top of my head. We have the Nexus thing, which Wanda in the comics is a Nexus being. I'm not really sure what that's all about. But the way they talk about it, I think that has something to do with the multiverse. What was the Halloween commercial? That one was Yo Magic. The Nexus one was the... What was the commercial for the episode with the dog? Can't remember. Whatever. We'll figure it out. This video is going to be as comprehensive a list as I can make. So just keep that in mind. What's the deal with Mr. Hart? Where did he go? He's just not around anymore. We never see him again. He's in the intro for the second episode. But beyond that, nothing. So I'm real confused. The other thing is, I don't know who is this devil figure that keeps getting referenced. But the doctor says that he's off to Bermuda, which is... The Bermuda Triangle is often associated with the devil, and is where Amelia Earhart infamously crashed and subsequently, most likely, died. So, what's with all these devilish references? Quicksilver refers to the kids as demon spawn. The Devils in the Details Bev line made Agatha respond with, "That's not the only place he is." And obviously, Bermuda Triangle. So what the fuck is going on? Who is this devil figure? I don't think it's Agatha, and I don't think it's the rabbit. Although I do personally believe that Ralph is the rabbit, but I don't think Ralph is Mephisto. And I'm not even sure if it's going to be Mephisto or Agatha that's revealed, but I think... Or Mephisto or Nightmare that's revealed, but it's possible. I think Nightmare's going to be the villain in Doctor Strange 2, and I'm sure he will have had something to do with WandaVision, but who knows. The commercial in the third one that I forgot about was Hydra Soak, which is a reference to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., from what I gather.
Or to break us. Well, that force field is engaged. They can't get out.
But let me guess. Neither can we.
Then you're lucky some of us still have a way in.
Suppose I'll have to show you first, won't I?
Normally, I'd ask what took you so long.
I was working out, so if I sound out of breath, it's because I am.
But today,
And I just got back from running like 3 miles, probably. That sounds stupid, probably not 3 miles. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna fucking check, because if it was 3 miles, I'm gonna brag about 3 miles. Yeah, about 2.5 miles, apparently. So that's impressive. But, yeah, so WandaVision, this is gonna be the series review, because I did just watch the whole series, and I wasn't interested in reviewing each individual episode. My dog thought I was asleep, and she likes coming in here to cuddle with me while I'm asleep. But as soon as I open the door, she's like, "Oh, fuck, alright, never mind." But yeah, WandaVision, the first episode, I thought was alright. The second episode, I thought was pretty good. And it literally only got better. I mean, if there was something you didn't like in one episode, it probably got exacerbated in the next. But, yeah. I think so far this show was great, and I loved it every step of the way. I just think they should have released 2 episodes a week, just like they released 2 episodes the first week. Simply because the episodes were really short, and it could have benefited from being a little bit longer. And it felt like waiting a week. It felt, well, at first, the first 4 episodes I thought were great when I was watching them. And then I jokingly said, that when episode 5 came around, I jokingly said, it's almost like there's just not enough here worth waiting a week for. And then I actually started feeling that for the rest of the show's run. But they were really cool. But it's really good show all around. When I was binge watching the show, I watched 5 episodes last night, and then I watched the rest of them this morning when I woke up, and then when I found the final episode, I watched that, and oh, it was so good, so good. There wasn't a whole lot of fighting. There were arguments and what have you, and it looked like every now and then it looked like they were getting ready to fight. Like the post-credit scene in the 5th episode. I say post-credit scene, it's not really post-credit scenes, but when the credits come up and Wanda and Vision are still arguing, and then the credits go away, and so post-credits, Vision flies up into the air, or, they're arguing, and, Vision's, he says something, I can't remember what at the moment, but he says, I can't, Wanda responds with, you've never talked to me like this before, and then Vision retorts with, before what? I don't remember my life before Westview. And I was like, ooh. Shit's getting rizzle. So, he, ooh, I am out of breath right now, man. So, Vision, flies up into the air. Before what? I don't remember who I am. Who I was. And, yeah, they get ready to start fighting, but they just don't. And then they calm down, and then Vision starts trying to reason with Wanda. And then Pietro comes to the door, who is apparently Ralph. I don't think anyone was expecting Pietro to be Ralph. I am admittedly kind of disappointed about that revelation. But yeah, the show does not feature any sort of violence, which I thought was whack. In the early bits, no Looney Tunes shit. I kind of wish they were fighting crime, in like a Batman 1960s kind of way. That would have been an awesome episode. And for some reason, never happened. So, don't like that. But the 60s episode we got was pretty good. Now, because by the way, Batman is technically a sitcom. So, miss me with that bullshit. Now, without the overview, the final episode, by the way, has a shit ton of fighting, and I actually really thought the fight scene was fucking clever. I thought Wanda was gonna kill Agnes, but apparently we'll get to that. Now, we'll start with a sort of play-by-play for the series, but not quite a play-by-play. Like, I'm gonna skip over several beats to make this really quick. But we'll do like an overview, basically. Well, actually, what I gave you earlier was an overview, but a different type of overview. So, the first 2 episodes were in black and white. I thought that was really clever. I liked how the sitcom elements would be every now and then interrupted by something just really fucking bizarre. I was telling my parents about it, and they were like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." But then, when we actually watched it, they were very like weirded out. They were like, "What the fuck?" Like, you had, every now and then something weird would happen. But then when Dottie, when she cut herself, when she squeezed that bottle or that drink, whatever it was, when she started bleeding, how everything was in black and white, but that was highlighted in red. I think that was when they really started being like, wow, something is not right here. When that toy helicopter landed in Westview, but there was like that banging, and then Wanda goes out to the front door, and she sees the red thing. She was like, why is that red? Everything else is, and then the blood, when that came up, they were really like fucking freaked out. And so then episode 3 continues the sitcom thing. I thought a lot of the humor in that was kind of... not humor, but I thought a lot of moments in that were kind of cringy and kind of like, what the fucky? Episode 4 comes around, and they basically skipped the sitcom stuff, which I thought was great. Then, episode... So 4, they start answering a lot of questions, and they start raising up even more. Episode 5, I think that's... Yeah, that's the one with the dog. They sort of... It uses a sitcom trope. It uses a sort of sitcom trope, which is also a trope in superhero shows, I noticed. If you watch Smallville, there's an episode where Lana and Clark take care of this kid, but he starts aging up really fast, until eventually he ages into an old man and dies. That happens in Birds of Prey, the 2003 series, as well. And I think, if I remember correctly, more than once. And so, that's where I know this sort of style from. So I thought Billy and Tommy would age into oblivion. That fortunately never happened. I think the death they got was a very sad one. I actually cried a little bit, but I don't cry. It takes a lot to make me cry, because I'm a manly man. But seriously, that was something. Now, Ooh, my legs are starting to hurt. I was running 2.5 miles, so that explains it. But, yeah, so, so they lose their dog, which sucked. I didn't think that Agatha had really killed the dog. I thought that, the dog just got into some fruits that it wasn't supposed to eat. Foolish of me to think that, but I had a cat that got into some plants that he wasn't supposed to get into. And it caused total organ failure over the course of a few weeks. Kind of quite sad. So I figured, yeah, so he's just gotten into some plants he wasn't supposed to get into. Kind of sad, No, Agatha got to that motherfucker. I don't remember what comes where now. I'm chronologically I'm a little confused. I think the next episode is... Yeah, I think the next episode is, the one with the circus. And that episode was alright. It was modeled after Modern Family. That doesn't check. The next episode, because this was the one I was talking about, the postcards. This episode, the next one, I mean, it takes place during Halloween, and fake Pietro, which I assumed, since it was played by Evan Peters, that it was the Fox X-Men Pietro. And I was convinced. I kind of, and that cameo that they were teasing never happened. Oh. They did say who or what. So technically, maybe. So, I want to see the Avengers and the Fox X-Men universe collide with the MCU universe. I also kind of just want to see Deadpool just wave off the timeline shenanigans. Because I don't need them explaining that, and I also don't need their timeline shenanigans from the X-Men movies interfering with the MCU timeline. Alright, I don't care for the timeline. The timeline hurts my brain. I actually got a nosebleed from my last timeline video. It was fucking radical. But like that wasn't scripted or anything. When my brain wasn't working and I actually got a nosebleed, I was like, I can't fucking do this. Fox, you don't make any sense. Damn it. But yeah, so Quicksilver is not Quicksilver, and that kind of sucks. The Halloween episode, though, I thought it was really good. The set designer mentioned that Quicksilver, his hair was modeled after like dollar store Wolverine, and yeah, I noticed that too. Most people, for some reason, on the internet, were saying, well, that's what his hair looks like in the comics. First, no. Look him up in the comics. I know what they're talking about. They're referring to my character in LEGO DC Supervillains. He's just so popular that people often mix him up with Quicksilver. Now, anyways, I don't actually... Let's be serious. They're referring to one of the cartoons. I believe it's X-Men Evolution, where his hair actually does look like that. It's either X-Men Evolution. It's not X-Men Evolution. Is it? It might be. Hold on. It's either X-Men Evolution or Wolverine and the X-Men. I can't remember how he looks in Evolution, but I do remember him in Wolverine and the X-Men a little bit. Fuck. X-Men Evolution. Boop. This cartoon was fucking lit, by the way. It's weird though. Quicksilver. One of the top results. Yeah, no. Look at him in X-Men Evolution. That's how he looked in the comics. So, no. I can okay. This one photo, I can kind of see why he looks like, why people would say Wolverine, but no. Look at that. That's how he looks in the comics. Now, if we look at Wolverine in the X-Men, by the way, I don't have the ability to put the photos up on the thing, so don't ask. Wolverine. That was kind of rude. I apologize. And the X-Men. Quicksilver. Yeah, this is what people are talking about. This is what people think of Quicksilver as. That's X-Men Evolution. In the Wolverine and the X-Men art style. That is trippy to look at, and I don't ever want to look at it again. But yes, so Wolverine, in the X-Men is what people think of Quicksilver as. That's fine, but I had to correct some fools in the comments. I don't know why. They were pissing me off. Now, the Wolverine, no. I was really hoping that cameo that they were talking about, like, look, I'm a little disappointed because, like, everyone's like, Well, you can't get attached to your theories. And yeah, I kind of disregarded some of my theories. I was prepared to die with those theories not being answered. However, I was dead set in assuming that this Quicksilver was going to be Quicksilver. No, his name is fucking Ralph, apparently. And I do not like Ralph, even a little bit. I thought as soon as that reveal happened, I was instantly disappointed. Now, one thing I mentioned in one of my videos that really was weird is I was like, why does he keep those beads around his neck? That's a new thing. I didn't think that it was like some sort of charmed item. But yes, that necklace was charmed and it gave him the ability to go fast. I don't know a lot about witches. There was a show on TV that I watched a little bit of. I didn't follow the plot. The show is called Charmed. And you want to know why I watched it and didn't follow the plot? Because Alyssa Milano was hot. Alright? There. Boom. Michael Davis exposed. Dude, especially that mermaid episode. Wow. But yeah, so I don't know anything about witches, alright? It was never a topic that interested me. You want to talk about public domain monsters that, you know, people overuse in movies? I'm the zombie guy. Motherfucking Jared from Subway is probably the vampire guy. So, I completely forgot about Jared. Whoops. That reference. Man. So, fucking from Jared from the hot dog cabin over the street? That doesn't make any sense. He's the vampire guy. Alright? But, the zombies are my thing. Witches, I don't know anyone personally who's like, yeah, witches are cool. Them witches are bitches, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, the necklace was charmed. It gave Pietro super speed. I hope in Doctor Strange 2 they bring in the actual Quicksilver. That would be lit. All right. It seems like Billy and Tommy are coming back. Bring in the actual Quicksilver. Aaron Taylor Johnson or Evan Peters, preferably both. Like if you can do both, my man, you best do it. Because Aaron Taylor Johnson was fucking screwed out of that role. Let me tell you, someone had to die to make that movie worthwhile, apparently. And they chose Quicksilver. So yeah, he was fucked. I mean, you didn't have to kill off anybody, technically. And also, you could have just put in you could have killed Maria Hill. What has she done that's relevant? Quicksilver. Now that you have the multiverse, bring in the Quicksilver. Also, I assume multiverse stuff was going to be happening in WandaVision, and nothing multiverse related happened ever. So that's whack. I assumed these changes would have affected why J. Jonah Jameson is in Far From Home, but I guess that's just JJ. So we're back to square one when it comes to multiverse related theories. So whack. But Madness of the Multiverse, it's gonna have the X-Men timeline. It's gotta. Like, come on, man, bring in Quicksilver. Without that tangent aside, the circus episode, which didn't take place in a circus, it just had a circus. That was cool. Circus, carnival, what? I guess they're the same thing? I'm confused. Fuck it. My brain right now. My legs hurt, my brain hurt, everything hurt. But, yeah, so... Dude, but the... fuck. Guys, I'm sorry. So, the next episode after that is a flashback episode. And there were some weirdities that I thought they would explain in the final episode. So we're just going to pretend those didn't happen, even though that video is probably attached to this video. And also, virtually none of our questions get answered. We figured out who Ralph is, and I think that's about it. I figured all of the ads would come together at some point, but they don't. So whatever. There's just a few things that bug me here, but yeah, it's whatever, man. I thought we're gonna skip over this episode because I really have nothing to say about it. It's cool. It's cool. It's weird, but none of it's like crazy important. The final episode though, that shit is so good. I've watched it only twice, but I could watch it like 5 more times, I think. It's got this fight that I really want someone to put into a video game. Just this fight. You don't even have to. It reminded me of what Kid Icarus Uprising is. It reminded me of Kid Icarus Uprising by concept. I've never played that game, but man, I've seen some footage, and that's what that game looks like. That final fight, witches flying through the air. I don't know why in other media witches need brooms to fly. They could just always fly. I don't know. Superman style? Was that not a thing that people had thought up before? Because I like this way better than flying on a broom. Like, what? Seeing Wanda flying in the air was awesome. And I immediately knew something was up when she was throwing beams at the wall. Like, they made it look like Agatha was dodging the beams. But I don't know, I knew something was up, and I didn't know what was happening. I was like, why is she hitting the wall? Is she trying to break the wall? And then when her beams finally collided with the wall, like the last one, she's given all of her magic to Agatha. And then she's become the Scarlet Witch, and the runes are making it to where Agatha's magic doesn't work. They mentioned the Darkhold. The Darkhold, I'm guessing, is going to be important to Doctor Strange. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I have a new theory. So, we'll get into that later. But we see the Darkhold. I thought that would be more important. People like Comic Book Cast 2 are theorizing that this means that the Marvel TV side is non-canon. Not necessarily. The Darkhold looks different every now and then. I remember I was watching a video by Mr. Sunday Movies. I really like that guy. Or those guys. They're like Game Grumps. But they're like toned down a bit, and they've got a lot of motherfucker Michael Word. Michael Word, damn it. Word. So they're more family-friendly-ish. Not quite. And, they got, they do, like, movies and TV and stuff. Game Grumps doesn't, yeah. So, basically, one of them just said, like, he was so happy about his discovery, but he was like, people have been messaging me saying that the Darkhold doesn't look like that. And then he's like, but to that I say that in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this one time, they said, this is what the Darkhold used to look like, implying it can change its looks. So checkmate, atheists. And I found that to be so fucking funny. But yeah, I think a book looking different, while shouldn't be technically possible, means nothing to me. I got off work this morning, today, and I was watching the video when I was waiting for my mom to come pick me up. Yeah, that's right, I fucking said it. Shut up, loser. And, so while I was waiting for her to pick me up, I went ahead and saw, that video. And I was like, that doesn't mean anything. Apparently Runaways references Daredevil and stuff, though, which I like. I want to know how that happened. I want to see that reference, because I was always wanting, like, the Marvel TV shows to have, like, an Avengers-level moment. And that was supposed to be Defenders, but in my opinion, that flopped pretty hard. I liked Defenders, I'll be honest with you, but I thought it was kind of a drag at times. Marvel TV so far, or Marvel Studios TV so far, isn't as much a drag. Because I hate to say it, but all of the Marvel TV projects had moments where I was like, why am I watching this? Whereas Marvel Studios TV so far, I know we're only one show in, not a bad episode, ever. All of the episodes were consistently better, in my opinion. You watch one... Wow, that looks like a dick. Guys, I'm watching one of my Worms videos, Worms with Friends number 4, and the snow... On one of the snow levels, there's a bunch of holes in this wall, and it just looks like a dick. You got the balls right here, and the head. So yeah, I'll hopefully point that out in another video, because that's fucking weird. Back on topic, before I have to go pee. The Darkhold changing its appearance means nothing to me. Alright? I think it could still work. I think we're still fine. I was wanted those shows to come up together, but that's fine. I think Loki is supposed to be doing some multiverse stuff, and it makes sense because it itself is a multiverse show. But we'll wait and see. What would be cool, though, is if Marvel's What If... They're going to burn through movies pretty quickly at this rate, which is kind of the point. But that show has unlimited potential if they avoid just the movies, doing just the movies. If you do the TV shows and the Marvel Studios TV shows, you can get some pretty cool stuff. Like, what if Daredevil died instead of Elektra? There you go, I'll give you that one, alright? Disney, Marvel, whoever the fuck. What if, what if the Punisher killed Daredevil? There you go, got that one too. A lot of these have Daredevil dying. I gotta find something new. Can't abuse that the whole time. What if Iron Fist wasn't Iron Fist? And then you could do some cool ones, like what if Peter Parker was the Punisher? And then, like, the next one is, what if... Ooh. Let's just say that they can use the movies multiple times, I guess. Because I don't think they should limit one episode to one movie. I think if they have another idea that's worthwhile, they should be able to use certain movies twice. But yeah, dude, what if... Or Marvel Studios' What If has unlimited potential. It could go on forever, theoretically. Well, they'd have to recast Chadwick Boseman, I guess. So that one... But yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go. Alright. I think I've had you guys' attention for too long. Come back to the channel later. Like and subscribe, you know. Find something else. Maybe I'll have a video attached to this, or more audio attached to this video, but I don't know. Right now, this is it, and thank you for watching.
Destroy all mutants. Comrade, heads up! And eyes wide open!
Why should you always get to have all the fun? Greetings, compatriots. Either you're here about the item of infinite cosmic power we just liberated from the Hellfire Club, or... Oh! Is it taco night again? Watch out for a ball!
You've allied yourselves with humans. The same race who designed these monstrosities to hunt us. Pathetic.
This is about far more than us versus them, Eric. We need to put our differences aside and work together for once.
Release him at once!
As you wish. After all, I did not come here for a fight.
Taco! Taco night! We're gonna eat while the X-Men fight! Yeah! Oh. There, hit me with the lyrics. And taco, yeah, it's gorgeous and... Okay, that's it! Someone's about to get a kick square in the chimichangas!
I'm told this is the most secure room in the mansion. I'd say you'll be safer in here.
But that would be a lie. I can't survive in there forever. I'll make sure of that. Even if we must pry them from your dead hands.
On second thought... Perhaps an alliance is called for after all.
Allow me to remedy that now.
Not even the fire of hell itself can contain me. When there is vengeance to be delivered. With you yet.
That was quite an impressive feat. But vanquishing the true Dormammu in his own realm will be nearly impossible.
I should craft one of my own.
Your journey ends darkness, for you